Hello again, YouTube community. This is the Truth Blaster, blasting you with the truth. And listen, we got a short but very knowledgeable and informative video for you today. So somebody came to me and told me about a particular YouTuber that was being very rude to someone on his call-in show. I just want to talk from that talking point. Listen, don't pay no attention to a person's subscribers or views. And here's why. I've been on YouTube since 2008, right? I can tell you firsthand, they've told me themselves that they freeze people's views, etc. So all of y'all trying to follow people based on their subscriptions, just understand this. YouTube promotes who they want. This ain't about a talent. This is not about talent. It's not about talent, because there's people on YouTube that should have 1 million subscribers, and there's other people on YouTube that shouldn't have any. That's just bottom line. They promote who they want. If it's a person that's going to lead in a way that they don't want people to follow, like, for instance, VCY of America, the Christian station here in Milwaukee. You get a chance, go look at their subscribers. Excellent channel, excellent for kids, excellent for believers, Christians. Go look at their channel. Go look at how many subscriptions they got. Come on now, you telling me. And I watch VCY. I haven't been watching it as much lately because I work a lot. But I watch VCY. And I know that VCY can have what do they call it? A telethon or whatever they call it. I forgot what they call it. Where they're raising money and bam, people call. That's how I know their subscription count is fake. So I would call this stop idolizing YouTubers. Stop idolizing YouTubers. They're men and women just like us. And you got to understand too, not only are they men and women just like us, again, the system is rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. So I want to go to definition, and I want to go to scripture, and then we're going to close this out. The definition of idolatry. It has 2 definitions listed in the dictionary. One says idolatry is the worship of idols. And the second one says extreme admiration, love, or reverence for something or someone. Now again, if you feel like somebody's helping you and you give them money or you tell them thanks, nothing wrong with that. But sometimes I'll just be in a live just listening. And some of y'all y'all idolatrous. You idolize these guys and these women on YouTube. And I'm telling you, some of y'all might not care what God thinks, but He does not like it. Let's look at what the Bible has to say about idolatry. And this is why they've been, I wouldn't call it shadow banning. They've actually practically banned me. But I've not done anything to be flagged or anything. So it's just an unlawful ban behind the scenes. Because I talk about this Bible in ways that they don't approve of. So it says in Revelation chapter 21, it says, and God shall wipe away all their tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. In other words, all these people that's hurting each other, these YouTubers that's flat out dissing people that call their shows. I mean, that's just the way I do. That's just the way I do. That's what I think. If you don't like it, I'll block you. Nobody worried about you blocking them. It was you. Oh, I'll just block you. Who is you? And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I shall make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. He said he gonna make all things new. All of you who have problems in relationships, who have problems at work, who have problems in your finances, he gonna make all things new. And it's, like I said, there's nothing wrong with you going to YouTube for advice, but this is the advice that you should be following. And again, take it in context, because people, if you listen to your modern day preacher, they'll have you acting wimpy and not being a masculine if you're a man, and not being feminine if you're a woman. So you have to know how to keep the Bible in context. And verse 6 says, and he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega. So if you want to know how to be an alpha male, you want to know where I learned how to be an alpha male from? The Bible. And being an alpha comes with many adversaries. The beginning and the end, and I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things. So, it's okay. I'm trying to build a life for myself while I'm here too. But, again, he's going to make all things new. You overcome the world, you shall inherit all things. So all the godless things that the world is trying to offer and gonna offer, he said, if you overcome it, you shall inherit all things, because he's going to destroy this world he created, y'all. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters is listed, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Now, I'm not going to even give these dudes the benefit of mentioning their names. And I'm even subscribed to some of them. And I even like a couple of the things that they said. But y'all letting these people diss y'all? You letting them diss you? You telling them how much money you got, this, that, and the other, and they shooting it down? Listen, don't worry about these dudes. These dudes are behind a computer, for one. Don't worry about them. Just like they could block you, you could block them, you could unsubscribe. So it says that idolaters shall have their place in the lake of fire. Let me give you a couple examples. I like to give examples from everyday life. So I know at least 2 or 3 people right now that are battling depression and that are suffering from suicidal thoughts. And the main root, I don't care what anybody says, of suicidal thoughts is when you deal with the wrong people, When you rely on other people to build you up and they breaking you down, they calling you ugly, they saying you a loser, they saying you this, that, you're going to let these people create depression. I just showed you in the Bible. God ain't going to even let them live in his house. So you're basically living, you relying on it, the info of demons. Because if somebody is listed not to live in God's house when it's all said and done, why are you listening to them? Idolaters shall have their part in the lake of fire. The abominable, whoremongers. Listen. Unbelieving. Once they tell you they don't believe in God, that should be the end of you listening to them. I can deal with you saying, well, I don't follow Christianity all day. But once I hear you say you don't believe in God, you're getting unsubscribed. Period. I don't care how much I like your content. The minute I hear somebody say they don't believe in God, I will unsubscribe from them. And just like they could block me, they could block you, we can unsubscribe. You can stop if you sending them money on Patreon or any of them, and they talking about, oh, I don't believe in God. Man, that's the end of you. Period. You can say what you want. That's the end of you. So it says, murderers, the abominable, the fearful. List these people as people who the Most High ain't going to allow to live in his house. So again, he does not like that idolatry. He does not want us to idolize these people, and I don't. The Most High allows me to see right through things, being a prophet. I go to work. I try to stay to myself when possible. If I can't stay to myself to the degree that I want to stay to myself, it'll make me want to leave that job. And it's nothing against people. I know people. I'm not going to let people hinder my progress with their negativity and their foolish thoughts, because most people don't even know when they're being negative. They'll say something that's being negative that's not even being negative. Just because somebody tell the truth, that's not negative. But a lot of people will say, oh, you being negative, because your truth is the truth, and they don't want to accept your truth. So they'll say you're being negative. They'll say, I have people telling me I'm crazy all the time, delusional, this, that. And here's my thing. In my heart, in my mind, I've already forgiven you. But once you cross certain lines, ain't no coming back. I don't like when people try to apologize just to get to a certain level. When they know they not sorry, they meant every word of it. Out of the abundance of a person's heart, the mouth speaks. But they'll try to apologize to gain whatever position that they had back. And they really not sorry. And they'll do that same thing again. And every time they lose their position, they'll, I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're not. You're an enemy. I know this, but I don't have to. Let me tell you something. There's no need to hate my enemies. There's no need to hate them. If I have to defend myself and take a person's life in self-defense, they don't even have to be my enemy for me to do it. I know in my mind that that's the way the world is. The world is violent. That sometimes you have to do what you got to do. But all this talk about race wars and y'all exalting these people, man, listen. White people, black people, whoever. There's no race war is just pure foolishness. Don't even engage it. Don't even listen to people who talk about that. It's not, and after y'all kill each other, the other race is going to be, ah, man, well, I could get this building now. Oh, I could get this house now. You'll be right out of the way, and life will go on as usual. So again, those of you that suffer from depression, and don't let nothing these people say in your family, people you think you love, people who think you love is not, if they worth love and they causing depression for you, not because of anything you've done that wasn't right, but they're just causing it because that's them, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Find the things you enjoy in life and pursue that. But never pursue people too tough. Because see, here's what happens. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat. You ever notice how people who got them big followings, how most of them are so arrogant and conceited? And they basically messing up the game. They messing up the stream and everything else, because when you pump somebody's head up, you messing things up for the whole entire world. Because now the whole world has to deal with that arrogance that they're going to have because of you. The whole entire world has to deal with it. And you causing grief for the Most High God every time you exhort these people who stink from time to time just like you. Take dumps in the toilet just like you. They breath stink sometimes just like you. Only difference sometimes is we at different levels in our knowledge, of course. But overall, we all as humans do the same thing. So why are y'all exhorting people? Stop exhorting these people. Stop exhorting these people. I don't care how you dress or what kind of car you got. If you got a nice car, you got a nice car. It's nice. I say, oh, that's a nice car. But if I see somebody with his nose in the air or acting arrogant and conceited, even if I think he has a nice car, I'll never tell him or her. And then these chicks, if you going to the grocery store ain't the runway. Make sure y'all look the other way when you see their nose in the air, when you see them acting like that. Don't look at them. Don't try to get with them. You pumping their heads up. I told somebody yesterday, the dude was trying to show stuff, and I said, man, I don't get that away from me. I don't want to see that. I said, people like you is the reason why everything is messed up and these people walking around so arrogant and conceited. I said, at my job, these dudes thirsting after the few women that's there and causing some of them to have inflated egos. And to be honest with you, that's part of what's wrong with that place. People got inflated ego. You got kids who can't stay out of jail, habitual criminals, walking around calling people dumb. They get mad at the staff. They call the staff, oh, you dumb. The dude called me dumb. I said, man, come on out that door. Let's play spade. They say don't argue with them, this and that. So now sometimes you got to let people know. You got to bring that arrogance down. You helping the whole entire world when you start chipping away at a person's conceit and arrogance. And nowadays, a person could be a criminal if the staff like them, if the staff give them extra stuff, or give her extra stuff, they'll even inflate in arrogance and conceit. Like, man, didn't you molest somebody? Didn't you kick an old lady in the face and take her car? You did that. You shouldn't be talking about nobody. But this is the environment that we create. Not just here in Milwaukee. This is the environment that's being created all around the world. Y'all act like y'all got a problem with God. You never pray to him. You never read his word. Then you exhorting these arrogant hoes and these little punk dudes. Some of them, I'm going to say it because they don't put my stuff out there anyway. We know how sex is supposed to be. And some of these dudes are abominable. They're whoremongers. And you, I just like to take it. Oh, yeah, you're so wonderful. And then he just swell up. Because of you. You doing that. Don't nobody care about your subscription. If you a punk, you still gonna be a punk. Money don't stop you from being a punk, from being a chump. If you a chump, you just a chump with money. If you a YouTuber and you got a glamorous studio, you got a nice setup, and you a chump with a nice setup. That's how it works. If you a little slut, but you got 10,000 subscribers, 100,000, 200,000, then you a slut with 200,000 subscribers. You are the core of what you are. Whatever you do, whatever you engage in, the consistency of what you engage in is who you are. And it don't matter if people trying to pump you up. If you exposing yourself on these, what you call it, Tinder. Now I hear these YouTubers and people at work talking about something called OnlyFans. Never been on there. But if you on there, I've never been on that crap. But if you on there, getting money, ching, 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 you still a slut. You a slut. You a slut that people is giving money. Well, I know I look good. I'm just, still a slut. These dudes, yeah, my arm grew by 4 inches. You still a punk. You still, if you a punk, if you can't fight, if you can't defend yourself, if you really scared of other guys hiding behind entourages and stuff, it ain't gonna matter how much you work out. It ain't gonna matter what you do. You still a punk. You still are the consistency of who you are. If you a pastor and you got a mega church, but you don't even believe in God, you still an atheist with a mega church. People don't change who you are by them following you. And I'm going to close with that. I didn't even mean to talk this long. Those of you who want to be blessed and who want these truth bombs, hopefully they'll let you hear the truth bombs. Because, we live in a world that censors truth. Even though it's against the law, freedom of speech, they get away with it somehow. But if you want people to hear these, like, share, subscribe, put it on your Facebook. Stop exalting these people. I'll argue with somebody. I'll state my case. I don't care who like it. I don't need friends. In fact, let me address that. If we grew up together, or I know you, have been knowing you a while, and you don't like what I say, you just don't like what I say. I'm not going to stop saying it, especially if I know I'm telling the truth. I'm going to keep saying it. I don't need you to approve of what I say and do. I don't need no friendship. And I would like to thank the Most High God for allowing me to see the true nature of all people. All people, relatives, everything. The Most High showed me. I told him many times. I said, just show me how I should be thinking about this. Show me how I should be thinking about that. And it's like the more I seek him and the more I ask him to show me the truth, he shows me the truth. And the truth is, there's not a person alive worth exaltation and pedestalization. Again, let me say this again. And this don't mean that I won't get somebody their props. This don't mean that I won't buy you nothing, won't support you financially. But then let me say it again. There is not a person alive, and I'm throwing myself in there too, that's worth exaltation and pedestalization. Because the minute you put somebody on a pedestal, God gonna show you, if you let him, that the only person that should be on that pedestal is him. Because he know everything about us. He know what we do. And he'll still deal with us. With me, it's conditional. With you, it's conditional. And I don't need nobody. In fact, let me say this too before I close. This is it, I promise you. I don't care about views. They're not giving them to me anyway. I don't want nobody watching anything that I make that's watching it for humor. Because you're an enemy. And I heard a YouTuber, Ringo, says something like this. And I definitely agree with this. He said that people who don't support you are your enemies. If you are in position to support somebody that's doing a good thing, I ain't talking about pedestalizing them or idolizing them. It's okay to support. What I'm talking about on this video is how people be idolizing these people. Don't do that. You messing up the world. Thanks for listening. You've been truth bombed again. Like, share, subscribe.